Morning. So day 4. I think it's day 4. So I was doing a video yesterday, and I was walking up the beach, Sheerness, where probably my favourite dog walk, and I recorded this video. It's about 5 minutes long, and when I got back to the van and went to check it, I was gonna post it there, and then realised I hadn't connected the mic, or the mic on here hadn't connected to the phone, and then I was going to do another one, and the battery was low. So I sort of come away, and it was a video I did about self-worth. I'd had a client yesterday, and yeah, the fault log root cause was self-worth, and I was talking about how when we come to engineering, it's often good to check the source, like the incoming supply of a bit of equipment, to make sure that we have power coming in. And with a client, with a person, with a leader, with an employee, with a business owner, whoever it is, like to check that self-worth at the start, because people are a little bit like systems that, if they've not got or are not coming from enough, so their self-worth isn't 100%, or it's not even anywhere near it. I had a power cut in my house the other day, and some of the lights were still on. The light to the microwave was still on, the oven light and clock was still on, but the main lights in some of the rooms didn't work, and it was weird. It was just like we had a voltage drop, not a power loss. And people are the same, and self-worth is this first element. In MMA Mastery, I talk about mindset, movement and alignment. And in alignment, where you're coming from, your self-worth determines everything. Because just like in my house, when the power dropped off, this client, she's great at what she does, but she's not a great leader. She's great at what she does, and she's not great at time management. And then there's elements of leadership and or management where you really need to be coming from enough to be able to do that, to stand and stop someone from talking over you, to pull someone into an uncomfortable conversation, a disciplinary, when they're not doing what they're meant to do, to say no because you have a meeting with your team and that's more important than someone else asking you to do something. Like, there's certain things that when you're in leadership, and you start moving up the line, you've got the voltage to maybe be a great project manager, or be a great QS, or be a great salesperson. But when you move up to like management, unless you've really got enough self-worth, some of these functions don't get done. And you think it's, they need project management training, they need leadership training and that. A lot of the time it's not that, it's just where they're coming from. It's a problem with self-worth and integrity. I think with coaching, that value of self-worth is the biggest needle shifter in every other quality that a leader has. You can rush off and think of, like, a bit like when the power's gone, like, the light's on and off, let me check the bulb. It's like, there's no point. Like, that will all work when we've got power. And with self-worth, like, a lot of the systems you've got, the processes you follow, they'll get done when someone is coming from enough. So that was the video yesterday. I didn't really feel like doing it today because I was sort of motivated yesterday. It was a powerful coaching session, and I thought that was good. And then I came away and I was like, I should talk about this and should talk about that. But yeah, I thought I'll talk about that because it is something that you can't get away from in coaching and living by design. It's something that at some point I think every coaching client has touched on an element of self-worth when they've come to work on themselves and wonder why something's not happening, why that thing's not getting done, and it's to do with alignment in some way. It's either a self-worth thing or it's a perspective thing that actually, like maybe disciplinary, you see that as a conflict, but it's your fucking job. So it may be a perception thing that people are that are getting wrong. But the art of living powerfully. Have a think. Where are you, do you reckon, with being enough in terms of your self-worth? Out of 100, where do you think you are? A client the other day, she said she was 70% enough. So she's running at 3/4 or less than 3/4 of her potential self-worth power. Like when you think of that, you think, oh, or maybe, if we dropped your voltage in your house down to 70%, like what would still work and what would look a little bit pathetic, what lights would go dim, what, would the fridge work, would the cooker work, would those things work if at source we was lacking? Have a think. I do a deep dive, 90 minutes. There's a link in the bottom. If you think that you or someone in your team could do with exploring that, then book a call. Take care.